Welcome back, everyone. Let's get crafting. On today's video, we're going to make a wood sign. First, you'll need a piece of board. Any size will do. Mine is about 16 by 19 and a half, I believe, almost 20 inches. You will also need some sandpaper or a sanding tool, some glue. I have wood glue in my glue gun, some different colors of paint and paint brushes, a utility knife, ruler, pencil, and my words welcome and home. Some ribbon, some little picture hanger tooth saw thingies, and what I have here is from my flooring. What it goes on is on stairs, on the edge of stairs. I'm going to use this for the frame. First, what you're going to do is you're going to sand your board. Get all the roughness off. I've got a very fine grit sandpaper on my tool here. And I'm just going to go along the front and the back. I'm not going to worry too much about the edges because those will be covered up. If you don't have a sander like I do, you can do it all by hand. Now what I'm going to do is I want to mix a color. The browns I have were not quite the color I wanted. So I took a brown and a gold, mixed those two together, realized still not what I want. So then I ended up adding in some black and eventually got to the color that I thought looked pretty good and matched pretty not bad with the moldings that I was using. Now we're painting the board. I give the board approximately 2.5 coats on both sides. I paint the front and the back so that if anybody was to pick up the sign and look at it, the back is all nice and finished as well. While you're watching, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on today's video. If you could, please subscribe, like this video, and don't forget to click on that little bell and switch it to all so you see all my videos. Next, I'm going to paint the words home and this little welcome sign all in black. I get all around in on the edges, every little nook and cranny. I don't worry too much about the back side because it's going to be glued on to the sign, so you won't be able to see that. You can go ahead and paint the back if you wish. No worries, no problem about that. I just knew I wouldn't be able to see it, so I didn't bother. These only took about 1 coat. I think the white home sign took about 1.5 coat because the white was showing through. While all that is drying, we're going to measure and cut these to go around the wood sign. After a while of trying it a few thousand times with a knife, I realized it was not working out as well as I wanted it to. It would have taken me forever, so I went and found these cutters. It was a little tough on the hands to cut, but it worked a lot better than the utility knife, let me say. So what I did is I measured out each and cut them down to size, and the ones on the side I cut them on angles. And you'll see when I put it together how I measured it out. Now that everything is dry, it's time to put on the frame. I start at the bottom, make sure everything is lined up, make sure it's going to look good on the back. And then using wood glue, a generous amount of wood glue and hot glue. First here I'm measuring to see where I put the glue, but using wood glue and hot glue, I put a generous amount of wood glue and then hot glue in little areas to give it that solid hold at first, and then the wood glue will hold it on for a longer time. After putting it on, I realized the way it was standing, it was going to not come off. So I found some clamps on my husband's shelf and used those to help keep it on until I was done the complete thing. Here you can see I'm putting on the side, and that's how I measured to do on an angle. I would stick it on and then draw a line in an angle, and that's how I cut it. And again, using wood glue and my glue gun, I put the two sides on. These were leftover pieces from when we renovated our house about a year ago. And I was sitting there staring at them for the longest time, and I thought, hey, I wonder if I could make a frame out of these. And well, I did it. I was quite impressed with myself. Now that everything is all nice and secure, it's time to put the lettering on. I realized at one point that the welcome sign was only going to be able to stick on part of the W and part of the E. And I thought that's not going to be secure enough. So I went and found I have little tiny square dowels, and it was perfect. So I painted that little square dowel black so it matched everything else and it didn't stick out and you could see it. I painted that black, and then I glued it to the back of the welcome sign so that then when I was able to glue the welcome sign down, I have the W, the E, and that little stick gluing onto the frame, or onto the back of the board. It worked out perfect. To all my subscribers out there, if you do any of these creations or have any of your own, please, I would love to see them. You can email them to me at lammiscreationsdiy@gmail.com, and I would love to showcase them in one of my videos if that is all right with you. I think you guys support me so much, I would love to support you. I'll have certain little segments where I'll put up your creation and everyone can see the wonderful work that my subscribers can do as well. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. You can find me, it's at Tammy-Lou Breault. Would love to have you follow me there. I post every once in a while little tidbits and little things from my family life and all sorts of stuff. Now what I'm going to do is, with a chippy brush, I am going to distress. We're just going to lightly, well, kind of heavily, but lightly around the welcome and around the home words. I'm going to outline so that they pop out a little more, because I found that it was blending in a little too much. And then I also decide to distress the backboard as well, just a little bit, just to give a little more definition. Am I saying that right? Anyways, just to give it a little more white in there and give it a little bit of difference in between the words and the background. After this is all done, I flip it over and put on the 2 picture sawtooth hangers. Using little tiny nails, and I had to use pliers because these little tiny nails are smaller than my big fingers. Measure out about 3 inches inward on each side and about a 1/2 inch from the top. And I stick nails on either side, and it's ready to be hung after that. I apologize if you're hearing noises in the background. I have a dog wandering around and a bunny hopping all over the place. Now I am attaching a bow. I'm sorry I don't record myself making bows. I am horrible at making bows. When I get better at it, then I'll start recording myself. But until then, nobody's gonna see. Fluffing the bow. Fluff, fluff. Making the bow look pretty. Fluff, fluff. And there you have it. A nice welcome home sign. And here it is hanging up in my entryway. I really like it. It's something I'm proud of. Happy I can make something like this on my own. Thank you everybody for joining me at Lemish Creations DIY. My name is Tammy, and I wish for you to join me again next time on another video. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.